Yo. Okay, dude, I said I was gonna do it, bro, but I did it again. Alright. Disturbing things from around the internet. Vol 10. This is the 10th one. I don't think I've seen most of these. We might have new content. This one's pretty new. This one's not that old. And plus I don't think I've seen it. So you guys will enjoy my full reaction instead of rewatching stuff that I already watched.
There's a certain beauty that exists in works of media that can both scare and engage you. The many nights that I've spent awake, lights off, blanket on, soaking up content from the darker side of the world that we all live in has blessed me with both memories and scars that will live with me for a lifetime. I love to be scared, and given the fact that you're here tonight, it's safe to assume that you do too. I started this series back in 2018 because there were a few creepy oddities that I found back at that point in time. But little did naive me know that if you do a bit of digging, you'll unearth more than you were ever prepared for. Tonight,
I don't know why I'm laughing today.
The 10th episode of this series with some of the most bone-chilling discoveries that I've come across to date.
10th episode.
I mean that. If you're here for a casual viewing experience, I suggest you leave now.
Oh,
it's time
you heard them, boys and girls.
And disturbing things from around the internet.
I usually don't even get scared, bro. Like, honestly. These aren't that scary, to be honest. If they're like weird and scary, then yeah, okay. Doorbell Discovery. I love when the rain hits the windows, bro. Like, most soothing noise ever. Not even gonna lie.
The popularity of doorbell cameras has been on the rise since the mid-2010s, being utilized as tools that can monitor your home when you're away. Residents that own them have caught some incredible bizarre footage.
The fuck are you doing, bro?
A masked figure, a TV man, and a girl stumbling onto someone's porch are some of the most notable bits of video out there. They pale in comparison to how unnerving the following footage is.
Fucking crackheads though, isn't it?
12th, 2019, at 11:11 p.m., a family in Los Angeles heard screaming that sounded like a kidnapping or a murder was taking place. After the initial shock of hearing it, they went out to their porch in hopes of witnessing what was unfolding.
Cozy up. She's just standing there. Nice, dude. She's just standing there, bro.
The police were called out to location to investigate. They questioned residents and inquired with the surrounding homes on if they too had a doorbell camera.
Dude, those lights.
However, not much came of it, aside from a few eyewitness accounts. Those that were able to catch a glimpse of the chaos claimed that the vehicle in question was an unknown white hatchback. Apparently, while the woman was screaming for help, a man in the driver's seat was apologizing nonstop before the vehicle sped off out of earshot. As of writing, this investigation is ongoing. Surprisingly, updates have been sparse, leaving various onlookers frustrated at the lack of a resolution. The woman's screams were bone-chilling, and unfortunately, without a conclusive lead so far, we're merely left to keep an ear out, hoping that she made it out of that situation unharmed.
Well, it's the woman's fault, bro. On the porch, she didn't even call the police or like try anything. Ridiculous. That was me, bro. I would have called the police. Ghost in the attic. I would have called the police a little bit quicker. Like, as soon as you hear those screams, you already gotta call the police, bro. You can't just be like, oh, they're just having fun. Yeah, right, brother. You can tell when it's a fun scream and a fucking You
On
know.
June 26, 2019, a Redditor named Bleachpong would make a post that would quickly shoot to the top of the r/paranormal subreddit. It bears the title. After years of hearing weird noises in our house, we captured something eerie on video. Here, they go forth to explain a bit of backstory about some strange happenings that have played out in their home while accompanying this entire post with an extremely eerie video.
Guys got free karma.
Backstory.
Gotta love it.
They explain the following.
Let's see this bullshit, bro.
First of all,
We literally got free
I
karma.
never believe in ghosts, and I don't consider my home to be a creepy place at all. The house was only built about 9 years ago, and as far as I know, the land it's on doesn't have a dark history of any kind. However, ever since we moved in, we've experienced some strange things. The weirdest part
Oh, you're
is
cursed,
most of what
brother.
we've experienced involves toys. Aside from one time, my brother says he clearly heard our dad calling his name from downstairs, only to find out he was the only one home. One recurring thing we've heard tons of times over the years is the sound of someone digging around in this big plastic tub of Lego pieces. When we were kids, we all collected and built Bionicles all the time in our playroom upstairs. The sound of shifting the pieces around to look for a part makes a very loud and distinct noise that everyone in our house became familiar with, but it was common for us to hear it when we were certain that no one was up there. When we got older, we stored our vast collection of Bionicles and tub of loose parts in a long closet, and we've continued to hear the noise coming from there every now and then. We've always been confused and weirded out by the sound, but we never bothered to record the noises, just because everyone in our house has heard it firsthand, and a recording of the sound of Legos in the next room didn't seem like it would interest anyone else. We told a friend about this, who thought it was crazy and insisted that we record it next time. Not long after that, both of my brothers were watching TV and heard the sound down the hall. They immediately started recording, and we got pretty decent audio of the noise. I want to reiterate that we've never felt unsafe in our home. We're not bothered by the things we've experienced, but they're a little strange. Let me know what you think. The video
Hit me.
attached is about 1.5 minutes long and shows the three guys pausing their baseball game because they've just heard something out of the ordinary.
There's literally nothing in here. And look how heavy this is.
That's fake, bro.
There's nothing up here.
It's fake for sure. Nice, dude. The guy just got free karma. Nice, man. 2 horns. Nice. That must be the devil, dude.
As we can see in that footage, the upper torso of that large action figure moved, just like that door doll in the previous Disturbing Things episode. People have gone forth to claim that it could either be a battery-powered figure or that a mouse might have bumped it, but Bleachpong denied these both, accompanying their explanation with a full photo of how it was built. Furthermore, they claim that if it were a mouse, then, if anything, they'd merely move a few pieces around and not its entire torso. Seeing as the figure is considerably taller than an already tall cereal box, then it would take a substantial amount of force to rotate it, especially given the fact that there isn't exactly a hinge anywhere near its stomach. The only explanation I can really entertain here would be a hoax. However, that would take an extremely small and well-hidden person to sit back there, completely invisible by the camera. Also, the subtlety of the shots, which happens in just a mere split second, lends credence to the fact that the video that they caught was what they presumed to be real, without any sort of foul play. Since this incident, Bleach Pong has vanished. Gone. No updates, which leaves the mystery surrounding this footage stuck in limbo. I truly hope that sometime in the near future, they make a return with pictures, footage, or anything, so we can dig into this mystery a bit deeper.
2000 karma, that's crazy.
It could be something mundane or innocent, but given the aforementioned circumstances, it's hard to discount the possibility that Bleach Pong just might have witnessed a haunting.
Brother, they probably got their karma, you know, they trolled the internet, they probably dipped out, bro. Like, look at me, dude, I haven't been on Facebook for a while. Like, you know what I mean? He's still sleeping. So, some of these videos you can't trust, bro. Especially from a Reddit user.
Up next involves a man by the name of Tim Birmingham. For the past few years now, he's been vlogging his life on his self-titled YouTube channel, and if you watch a bit of his content, you'll notice pretty quickly that Tim is an extremely likable guy. He's a big foodie, he loves the Detroit Lions, and ultimately seems to carry a pretty easygoing life. Unfortunately, in the midst of his uploads, there's one that starkly stands out as one of the most unintentionally unsettling ones on his channel. In an upload titled, "She's Still Sleeping," we're able to observe one of his daily vlogs. Before I explain the backstory, have a look at it.
Hey everyone, how you doing? Hey, it's me, Timothy. She's still sleeping. And she's still sleeping at about past 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
Everyone.
I've slept that long as well.
It is a rarity for Penny to do, is sleep in. But yeah, she's sleeping away. Wow, can't believe it. Can't believe it. Amazing, she's just sleeping in.
So confused.
Not used to seeing her sleep in. Usually she's up and being on her computer or doing something, but she must be tired.
I'm so confused. What the hell? Probably heard his wife or
In the video,
daughter, I don't know.
Tim cheerfully explains that his wife is sleeping in abnormally late, and that she's usually
Wife,
at
okay.
this point playing on the computer. It's past noon now, and while it's not out of the ordinary for people to sleep past this, little
Yeah,
did we know
exactly.
during filming that she isn't sleeping.
Wait, what? What do you mean she's not sleeping? I'm
Penny
so
Buss,
confused, bro.
Tim's significant other, passed away that night in her sleep due to unknown circumstances. In a follow-up video to this one, he explains that she was up the night before, playing on her computer, and went to bed as usual. The two apparently fight over the blanket pretty often, and he recalls her doing that night, all with no real indication that anything was vitally wrong. Also in this, Tim addresses some of the comments that people left, heavily criticizing him for keeping the video up. He claimed that he wanted to leave it be so he could have something to remember her by, and seeing as this was over 2 years ago now, it seems that he held true to his word. Tim seems to be doing okay for himself now, back at it with his vlogs, food reviews, and sports recaps. Occasionally, he'll upload tribute videos about his beloved Penny, and these are usually met with overwhelming support. She's Still Sleeping, to me, is insanely jarring. What appears to be a normal, everyday vlog about his loved one sleeping was, in actuality, not at all what it seemed.
The house party. I'm so confused about that one though. I don't see. Like, she's still sleeping. I don't know, man. I don't think he killed her, to be honest. There's no way. Unless he somehow, like, you know, they fight over the blanket and then he's like, "Give the fucking blanket," and then the neck, you know, he breaks her neck somehow.
Especially in college. In September of 2019,
I don't know why you guys are fighting over blankets, bro.
students were
What
throwing
the
a pretty
fuck?
large Project X style house party. Everything seemed to be going just fine until one man decided that he'd raise his glass for a toast in one of the most extreme ways possible. Tyler Uhr,
Let me
someone
guess.
who the university claims is not a student there, decided to climb a utility pole, of all things.
Oh,
to
smart
perform
guy,
his
dude.
stunts. As you'd might expect, this didn't turn out well for him. But even
That guy
worse,
for sure got
this was
some
all captured
degrees.
by multiple people on Snapchat. The
Dumbass.
following footage is what they witnessed.
I mean, he's dumb, dude. Why the fuck would you do it, dude? Even. Alright, you guys see it? Alright, you guys see that? It's clearly right there, so don't watch or click off. Smart. Smart. He touched it though, didn't he? Oh my god, man. I have no
As we can see,
IQ, dude.
After being electrocuted, he goes limp before falling an entire 30 feet to the ground. Very fortunately for him, he survived, but that's not to say that everyone initially thought he was dead. On social media, these videos blew up. Because of this, people honed in on Barstool Sports, a Twitter account that's notorious for tweeting out stunts pulled by college students. At the time, though, many, including them, didn't believe the fact that he survived, and so they put out the following message. Please stop messaging us the video of the guy getting electrocuted on Palmer tonight. We're not posting it. In the first response to this, though, we're able to see the gruesome aftermath of what happened. A Twitter user named Zushin tweeted the following. Well, here's the aftermath. He's okay. With this video. Tyler later claimed on Twitter, I broke 3
Oh,
bones
that's not
in
even
my
that
left
bad.
leg, and 1 broke through my skin. I have a slight fracture in my right hand and 4 minor breaks in my back. I also got a lot of burns from this and will be out of work for at least 8 weeks or more, so anything helps. God bless. This was accompanied by a GoFundMe to assist with his medical bills, but unfortunately for him, this was met with a negative response.
Yeah, I see it.
All in all, he seems to be recovering. What many thought was going to be a simple day out at a house party.
Hey, let's go, bro.
Quickly turned down.
Nice stunt.
Tyler Uhr's stunt was an incredibly dumb move, leaving partygoers stunned at the possibility
Yeah, no
that
shit,
they had
dude.
single-handedly witnessed a fatal freak accident. Luckily, that wasn't the case, but this situation serves as a lesson, hopefully repelling others that would have any shred of a desire to attempt anything remotely similar to this in the future.
Bro, just stop drinking. It's simple as that. Like if you're like, just don't drink, dude. Like, seriously. It's just as simple as that, man. Like, if I was that drunk, I wouldn't even do that. Like, if you can't control yourself when you're drunk, dude, just stop. The station. It's dumb, dude. It's just completely dumb. So it's his fault for, you know, that shit. Someone probably should stop them as well.
To cap off this episode, I wanted to discuss what I personally believe to be, by far, one of the most disturbing pieces of media that presently exists on the internet. On the night of February 20th, 2003, a band by the name of Great Whites was headlining a show at a West Warwick, Rhode Island venue by the name of the station. The footage you're watching was captured by a journalist named Brian Butler from the town's local news station, WPRI. In attendance to shoot a video about nightclub safety, he began documenting the band's opening song, Desert Moon. Everyone seemed to be having a great time, with nothing seemed to have gone awry. But little did they know that this performance would rapidly devolve into the 10th deadliest nightclub fire in world history. So what happened? Just seconds into the song, the band's tour manager, Michael Bichelle, set off pyrotechnics that he claimed he was permitted to use by the nightclub's owner. What he, or the audience, didn't see coming was the fact that these would suddenly set fire to the studio foam that surrounded the backside of the stage. Everyone thought it was part of the show.
Am I blind or what? Wait, people thought that was part of the show? I can't see it that well though, so I can't really talk. Wow. That's not good. No shit, brother.
The fire wasn't intended. A manic rush to get out took place. In less than 60 seconds, the entire stage was ablaze. While there were 4 exits to the building, the vast majority of attendees stormed the front door that they entered through, resulting in a dog pile that severely slowed everyone's exit. Because of this, everyone began to panic further, leading to a massive jam in the narrow hallway that surrounded that route. Brian, among a few others, ended up making it out safely. However, the remainder of the footage shows that the vast majority of concert goers weren't quite as lucky. In the latter half of the video, screams, mass panic, and smoke can be observed coming from the building that, after a matter of minutes, was completely ablaze.
Are they stuck? Oh my god. This is why we would get fucked in an apocalypse. This is why, bro. They are stuck in a door. They are all stuck in the door. Bro, if I was at that concert and people were acting that dumb, dude, I would fucking jump on their heads and get the fuck out of there. They're literally stuck, dude. How do you get stuck on that? Ridiculous, man. Like, look at that. Look how stuck they are. They're stuck as hell.
100 people lost their lives, with 230 of them bearing non-fatal injuries. Among those that
Rest in peace, man.
Guitarist Tyler Longley and the show's MC Michael Gonsalves, both of which were believed to have lost valuable escape time due to their attempts at salvaging their equipment. In a first-hand account by Brian Butler, the one that captured the footage, they claim the following. It was that fast. As soon as the pyrotechnics stopped, the flame had started on the egg crate backing behind the stage, and it just went up the ceiling, and people stood and watched it, and some people backed off. When I turned around, people were already trying to leave, and others were just sitting there going, "Yeah, that's great." And I remember that statement because I was like, this is not great. This is time to leave. At first, there was no panic. Everyone just kind of turned. Most people still just stood there. In the other rooms, the smoke hadn't gotten to them. The flame wasn't that bad, and they didn't think anything of it. Well, I guess once we all started to turn towards the door, and we got bottlenecked into the front door, people just kept pushing, and eventually everyone popped out of the door, including myself. That's when I turned back. I went around back. There was no one coming out of the back door anymore. I kicked out a side window to try to get people out of there. One guy did crawl out. I went back around the front again, and that's when you saw people stacked on top of each other, trying to get out the front door. And by then, the black smoke was pouring out over their heads. I noticed when the pyro stopped, the flame had kept going on both sides, and then on one side, I noticed it come over the top, and that's when I said, I have to leave. And I turned around, I said, get out, get to the door, get to the door. And people just stood there. There was a table in the way at the door, and I pulled that out just to get it out of the way so people could get out easier. And I never expected it to take off as fast as it did. It was so fast. It had to be 2 minutes tops before the whole place was black smoke. According to reports, there were 462 people in attendance that night, whereas the venue's official capacity was 404. Survivors of the blaze claimed that while there were multiple exits, bouncers were restricting people from escaping via the back door. This restriction was in place up until the moment that the bouncers realized the reality of the situation, at which point they fled.
Nice.
According to further reports, the station's owners, Michael and Jeffrey Durdarian, both didn't have workers' comp insurance for their employees, nor did they have any sort of fire safety system in place, both becoming vital details in their legal cases. After
Nice.
this all took place, blame shifted through multiple parties. The band claimed that they had permission to use pyrotechnics for their show. The Durdarian brothers claimed otherwise. Furthermore, the distributors of the studio foam and JBL, the producer of the venue's speakers, were blamed for the flammable material in their products. However, both denied any wrongdoing. In regards to official charges and sentencing, the band's tour manager, in 2006, pleaded guilty to 100 counts of involuntary manslaughter, resulting in 15 years in prison, with 4 to serve and 11 years suspended, topped off with 3 years of probation. In 2007, with good behavior, he'd become eligible for parole as the judge saw him unlikely to reoffend. As of 2008, it was granted. As for Michael Durdarian, he received the same punishment, but in 2009 was released from prison due to good behavior. Jeffrey, on the other hand, received a 10-year suspended sentence with 3 years of probation and 500 hours of community service, but avoided all prison time due to a no-contest plea. Within a myriad of in and out-of-court settlements to victims and their families, as of September of 2008, over $115 million had been paid out in total due to the calamity that occurred on that late February evening.
Everyone's at fault here, dude.
The station Nightclub fire, in its entirety, is a situation that never should have happened. From the pyrotechnics, to the lack of a fire safety system, to the bouncers forbidding people from exiting, the entire incident is something that will forever go down as one of the worst tragedies in recent history. 100
everybody's at fault.
Lives that were in attendance to simply have a good time and enjoy a rock band. Lives that did not deserve, by any stretch, to have their existence brutally taken from them.
Yeah, that's like I said, man, it's everyone's fault there, then. Even the people's,
We've
bro.
explored some of the most disturbing bits of media that are out there. Like I said, if you do a bit of digging, you'll find that the world can be dark, disturbing, and incredibly depressing. Thanks
And
to all of you
retarded.
for joining me
Forgot
in this
about that.
8th installment of Disturbing Things from Around the Internet.
There
I
you go.
hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any other bits of dark media that you'd like to share for a future video, feel free to shoot me an email or submit it to my subreddit over at r/NightmareExpo. With that being said, thanks once again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Alright, I'll just end it there. Dude, honestly, look, fuck. The world is dumb. Like that last one, bro. Like, I don't know why the bouncers didn't let them out. Some dumbass bouncers. That's for sure. Like, you know, it's a dumb thing to say, to sit there and be like, oh, we didn't know the fire was gonna get that bad. It's a fire. Of course it's gonna get really bad. Like, it's a fucking fire. Oh yeah, you know, watch this. Ah, there's a small fire over there, bro. It's probably not gonna get that bad. Like, so the bouncers, dumbasses, the owner has no fucking fire, like, I didn't even hear a fire alarm. I didn't see any, like, water pouring down from the ceiling. The owner, yeah, fucking find that kid. Seriously, that's like, you just costed for sure. If the owner had like a couple of maybe fire alarms, if he had like sprinklers, for sure he would have reduced the fire, you know. But owner didn't have anything. I didn't even hear a fucking fire alarm. I didn't even see any water come down. Like what? The band. I mean, the band got off, didn't they? Well, I think 2 of them died. I'm not sure, but I mean, the band. Of course, they're gonna escape, dude. They probably got someone probably found them and told them where to go because of because they know the club more than the people. And it is kind of on the people as well. People, when people panic, dude, it just goes to shit, dude. Like they all got stuck in that door, and them getting stuck in that door, those people in the back are dying because of that. Like, ah man, if people knew how to stay calm in situations like that, I'm 100% sure that they actually would have made it out of there without 100 people dying. So it's ridiculous, dude. Like it's crazy. But yeah, boys, that's about it, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And of course, don't be dumb, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.